Right, so where were we? The Last of Us. Right, that started. Was it last night? What day were we on? Monday. Was it Sunday night? It were on. I don't know. Anyway, I finally watched it tonight, and I thought it was really, really good. Really enjoyed it. I've played the game once, and that were enough for me. One playthrough were enough for me. You know, people love it and they play it umpteen times, but it was stressful enough once through for me because I'm not a big zombie gamer. They stress me out, the zombie games. I know they're not zombies, they're infected, but you know, they're essentially zombies, aren't they? Oh, excuse me. Yeah, but I think it kept pretty much to the game law, I think, of what I can remember from it. But let's go through it, shall we? Let's go through it and we'll have a look. So here we go. There you go. There's the. Hang on, where are we? But you know what's coming here? It's the old HBO logo, isn't it? And it was anyway. Now we start off in 1968. Why? I don't know, but we just do. And it's in like a TV chat show, and it's actually quite well done. There you go. All the colours and the beigeness of it is reminiscent of like the 60s, early 70s, even though it's 1968. That's I forgot his name. What's his name? He's a British actor, Scottish. He's a Scottish actor. It'll come to me. I should really look it up, shouldn't I? So that's what we'll do. I will look him up. He was in The Mummy. He played somebody in The Mummy. 1999. So I'll look up that. Where is he? John Hannah. That's who he is. He played Jonathan in The Mummy. It's John Hannah. You may know him from Spartacus. He was in that as well. Don't know these two are. Anyway, I think the scientists, they're talking about infections and diseases and epidemics and stuff like that. And John Hannah says he doesn't fear bacteria, he fears fungi. No jokes about, he's a fun guy to be with and all that. But they go on about that. And then it goes forward to 2003. I don't know why this was 1960. I don't know. Maybe it's got some meaning. Maybe I'll go back to it in the series. I don't know. It showed the audience all staring because they talk about zombies. They talk about the ants that a certain fungus sort of like takes over and controls, turns into like zombie ants. They were talking about that and how they were controlled, and it just showed people sitting in the audience, vacant stares on their faces. So not much of a stretch there, is it? Anyway, then we cut to what's happening here. Oh, then we cut to the titles then. Cut to the titles with the music. Don't ask me the fella who does it, some Mexican chap. Or Central America. I don't know where this from. Did the music for it. This music from the game, ding, 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 ding. I know we won't get a copyright strike for my musical lack of talent. But yeah, it's that. So they've got the music from the game. And we have a bit of a opening title showing the fungus. It's a bit Westworldy, the titles, a little bit, that sort of what we used to see now, snazzy titles. There we go, 2003. We meet, do you know what, I can't remember the bloody names of the characters. I'm going to have to look it up. Sarah, we meet Sarah. Last of Us, HBO. Oh, crikey. Does it say there, Sarah? Yeah, Sarah Miller. And there's quite a bit of an ooh-ah with this casting, because obviously race swapped her in the game. I think she was blonde, obviously white and blonde. But in this one, she's from a mixed race. His wife, who I think we're going to meet later on in the series, I think, is black. Joel Miller, played by Pedro Pascal. And we've got Sarah Miller, his daughter. And really likeable character, really likeable. And so's Joel, to a certain degree, there he is. She's obviously the one in control in the house. Don't know where the mother is. Are they divorced? Is she dead? If she's dead, I don't think we'll meet. She's been cast, so unless there's some sort of flashback, I don't know. But I can't even remember if she were in the game, to be honest. But anyway, obviously, Sarah's the adult in the house. Joel's there, you know, asking her if she's done her homework, and she looks at him like, you know, like he's an idiot. But it's all done in a very good way, a very you know, entertaining way. There we go. That's entertaining. She's talking about calcium there because he said he had some shell in his eggs, so she says calcium. So they've got a good bit of banter going on between them. Little do they know the horrors that are to come. Anyway, he drops her off at school. This is earlier on. She goes upstairs. She gets a watch out of a drawer. And apparently it's been broken a while. It must have some sentimental meaning, this watch. We don't know yet what it is. But she gets the watch. She also gets a knife out. And I don't understand the meaning of this knife. Unless there's some reason later on. We see another knife later on. But it can't be the same knife. You know, what are the odds? But anyway, because she leaves the knife in the drawer. She gets the watch out and she gets some money. She's going to go get it fixed. By the way, it's Joel's birthday. He's 36. So that means later on in the show, he's older than me. I hope I look like that when I get to 56. I'm 56 this year. Anyway, so she gets the watch. It's a surprise. They're getting ready to drop her off at school. He works in construction. Him and his brother. What's his brother's name? I forgot. Tommy. Gabriel Luna plays Tommy. Where are we? There we go. We meet the neighbours. Nana and whoever the hell else they're called. Nana's, she's senile. There's a bit of a banter going on here between them two and the neighbours. She promises to go see him, but then we see her in school. Her mind's she's distracted. She's not really paying much attention to the lesson. Then the bell goes. So she heads out on a bus to here. What was it? Lone Star Watch Repairs or whatever. Oh, excuse me. Oh, cracky. I do apologise. I've just eaten a really hot curry, so if I'm snuffling and my nose starts running, that's the reason. Hey, don't do a live stream right after eating a hot curry, a chicken madras. Anyway, she's going to get this watch fixed. So she's going to do that. It's going to cost $20 to get it fixed, new spring. But while she's waiting, the shop owner's wife comes in. It says they're closing. He's fixed the watch. He gives it back to her. Bundles her out. She doesn't pay. Not that I saw anyway. And they close the shop because things are going wrong. We hear things on the radio and on TV that, there's trouble brewing. A bit like the beginning of Shaun of the Dead. Remember that? When, we could hear the radio and things on TV and, things were going wrong, people getting ill and stuff were happening around the world. The similar thing. So we know troubles are brewing. So she heads back home. She goes to see the neighbours. There we go, that's the neighbours. Don't know her name, can't remember. But she goes and spends some time with them. And then we see Nana, just as she's looking at this, I think it's a DVD, some film, I don't know what it is. But as she's looking at this, is it going to do it?
Be right there.
Oh, steady on. Right, here we go. As she's looking at this this DVD, Nana there. Oh, you can't see it for me. Hang on. I'll just get rid of myself for a moment. Where am I? I'm there. There you go. You can see Nana there. And as oh God, I'm pressing the wrong buttons. And as she's looking at this this book, Nana kind of starts freaking out. Are you ready? Go on, start. Here you go. She starts trembling and her arms go up. And then I'll skip forward a little bit. There you go. She starts freaking out. Look, and then her mouth opens, and so she's being infected here. Don't know how. Don't know when. Well, we do know when it happens because apparently it happened in the cities. It's all started in the cities. Don't know why the cities, but it just has. And apparently they take Nana into the city for some sort of treatment quite regularly. So she's obviously picked it up there. There you go. Look, she's freaking out in a blurry, spooky way. But she doesn't notice because, she's a kid. Kids don't notice these things, do they? There we go, put me back. But she doesn't notice, so she borrows the DVD and she says, I have to go, my dad will be home soon. So she goes home. Here we go. She notices the dog, their family pet, their dog, whose name I can't remember. You know what I'm like with names. Is kind of whining at Nana. The dog knows something's up. Right, so we cut to later. There you go, she goes outside. I think a helicopter flies over here, so we're realising things aren't quite right. There's something not quite right with the world. But anyway, she's sitting waiting for Joel to come home. He promised to be home by 9, but it's 10 o'clock. But he does arrive. She gives him the watch and the DVD for him to watch. It's a film he likes. So another bit of banter goes on. But as they're watching the film, she falls asleep. And as there you go, she's asleep, and Joel gets a phone call, and it's Tommy. He's in jail, the local county jail. He says somebody started a fight. Somebody went mad in a bar, and Tommy knocked him out. Then the police came and put him in jail. So he needs Joel to go and bail him out. So Joel puts Sarah in bed because she's fast asleep. Baffles me how kids can stay asleep and the parents are carrying them up and down. I never would be able to. Even as a kid, I were never picked up and put into bed. I'd have been given a good hiding. I said, get to bed, never mind falling asleep downstairs. Never did me any harm. Anyway, he puts Sarah into bed and goes to sort out Tommy. Anyway, Sarah wakes up because there's commotion outside. There's like light explosions and stuff going off, or lights flashing or whatever. It's 2:16 a.m. and obviously Joel's not there. She goes downstairs. There you go, national alert on the TV. And she sees, that's the next door's dog appears at the window, and she goes outside. She says, "What's up?" But the dog runs off. And helicopters and stuff fly over, and all stuff's happening. You can hear like distant noises, So she goes to check on next door. Here we go. And the door's open. And then she slips on some blood, as we'll see. There you go. And then she sees the neighbour. I presume it's the son of Nana, I think it's the son of Nana. He's got a nasty wound, as we'll see. Hang on. So show him. Anyway, he asks for help. He's not dead. He asks for help. No, see, I've gone too far. Look, I'm useless. There he is. He asks for help, and then she looks round and she sees, I presume it's his wife, on the floor, being chewed on by Nana. So there you go, Nana's infected. It's either chewing on her or, well, she's chewing on her, but infecting her as well. This is how it spreads. And so she gets up and she's not senile anymore. She hardly moved. She didn't know what was going on. But now she's very mobile. So she jumps up and starts chasing Sarah through the house. And Sarah runs outside. Oh, hang on, see, I've gone too far again. There we go. Sarah runs outside and Nana chases after her. It's all very, very good. And but Joel arrives. Joel and Tommy arrive just in time, and Joel batters her with a adjustable wrench. Where are we? Oh, he's done it. He's braided her with a wrench, and obviously must have killed her. Obviously they've had to fight the way home to pick up Sarah. So he tells they get into the truck, they head out of town. This is the best part of the episode, by the way, because it's really, really tense. I will like, good edge of the seat stuff. So they're heading out of town. But not heading out, they're heading into town to head out of town, if you know what I mean. To get to the highway. And they get into town and all hell's breaking loose. And there's police cars everywhere. And, here you go, there's the highway. It's all blocked, so they go across country. And when they get into town, as we'll see in a moment, here we go. See, all hell's breaking loose, look. The people running about, and there's fires going, and they passed the house that were on fire, somebody that they knew. And they won't pick up people asking for help. They won't do, she said they've got a kid. And he said, so have we. So they won't stop for anybody. And Joel's telling Tommy to run people over. What's happening here? What's that gone off for? Oh, there we go. A plane crashes. Let's see if we can get that. Did you come too far again? Here we go. As they're watching, all hell's breaking loose with people running about, and in the background a bloody big plane crashes, and a piece of wreckage or something hits the pickup truck that they're in. There you go. Oh, it's a wheel. It's a plane wheel. Gets them. So they're all knocked unconscious. Then they come to, and obviously the truck's done for, and her ankle's injured, is Sarah. So Joel picks her up and starts carrying her. So Tommy's at the other side of the truck. They can't get to each other. They're stuck in an alley, and Tommy's at the other side. He says, I'll meet you at the river. So they go different ways. I think that happens in the game, I think. I might be wrong. I can't remember. But so far, it's very similar to what the game is, from what I can recall, from my one playthrough. But anyway, so they head through town to get to the river. This infected chap sees them and starts running after them. Go through, I think it's a diner. Oh, pardon me. And, there you go. And the fella's just about to get him. And, he's dead. He gets shot. He comes charging after him and he gets shot. And it's a soldier standing there. He says, don't move. And says, we're not infected, or we're not ill, or we're not sick, or whatever they say. But his daughter's got an injured ankle. And then the soldier obviously gets an order through his earpiece, through his comms system, that, they basically shoot everybody, I think, by the looks of it. Everybody's to be shot on sight. People on the streets are to be shot on sight. I presume that's the order. So that's what he does. He raises his gun and he shoots them. And they go rolling down a ditch. There you go. Sarah's rolled away. Pedro's slightly injured, but not too bad. And the soldier's about to finish him off when, here we go, when Tommy comes to the rescue. In a minute. By the way, are we going? Are we still going? Yes, we've still got an excellent connection. Tommy shoots this soldier, saves Joel's life. He sees he's got a bit of an injury. It's not too bad. No, it was not too bad. But Sarah's really badly injured. Here we go. She's being shot in the gut, and I was surprised actually, because I was thinking, are they going to change this from the game? Is she going to survive? And she's going to carry on in the series, become a friend for Elliot or whatever. But no, they stick with it. She dies here. And it's all very dramatic, and, I got a bit lip quivery, like you do in the game. It's just like in the game. Sarah dies, and then it cuts to 20 years later. In a minute. But, she dies in his arms, and it's all very, very sad and very dramatic. There she is, she's gone. Then it goes to, in a minute. 20 years later, and we see a young, I think it's a girl, coming walking through these woods, and she comes upon the city of Boston, as we will see in a moment. Here we go. I think it's a girl. Do you reckon? I don't know. It doesn't tell us, to be honest. She's walking down what used to be a street by the looks of it, but now it's all overgrown because 20 years have passed. And there we go. We see Boston. I think there we go. We get a caption there. Boston, 2023. I think it says. There we go. So it's set now. My goodness. So there you go. Nice bit of CG artwork of a ruined Boston. But we find out of this area here that you can see there, that's the quarantine zone. So it's got a big wall around it. Don't know when they built that, but anyway, this kid collapses just outside the quarantine zone. Here we go, the soldiers here, look, guarding it. Bit like Mega City 1, but smaller. Anyway, they take the kid in. The kid collapses. They take the kid in, and the kid is strapped to a chair. And a nice lady talking to the kid and saying, we'll sort you out and get you something to eat. They do a test. Says you'll feel a little sting. He does this a test with this little machine, and the light on the machine turns red. And I thought, uh-oh. I don't know if this were in the game, by the way. I don't think it was. But I'm looking at time to full infection. Right, are you paying attention? 1, neck, face and head, 5 to 15 minutes. Torso, arm, shoulder, 2 to 8 hours. Leg, foot, 12 to 24 hours. So obviously it works its way down your body then, doesn't it? Report signs of cordyceps infection. Is that what they're calling it? Is that what it's called in the game? I don't know, probably. Coughing, slurred speech, muscle spasms, mood change. I'm infected. Safety begins with you. And report cordyceps to authorities immediately. FEDRA, that's who's in charge now, FEDRA. And I think it says there what it stands for, but I can't make it out. Anyway, so this kid, here we go. Here we go. She's talking to this kid, saying all nice things, and this light goes red on the testing machine. So obviously the kid's infected. I thought, here we go, the kid's infected. And anyway, she says, we're going to give you an injection, and then we'll get you something to eat and some toys. And I thought, no, they're going to kill this kid. This kid's dead. And all right, they give the kid an injection, and next time you see it, eat her. I'm guessing it looks like a girl to me. Is it a girl? I'm guessing it's a girl. This young girl. Oh, has it gone too far already? There you go. To give the this young girl. I hope it's a girl. Hang on. Does it say? Hang on. Does it say in the cast list? Let's have a look. Let's have a look in the cast list. IMDb. Let's have a look on IMDb. And it'll tell us, won't it? I hope it does anyway. Where do we go? Well, it's going to have to be all cast and crew because I didn't see. We don't know the kid's name either, so is it just going to say, Yes, infected girl. Yes, so it is a girl. Marley Grace Becker. There we go. So it is a girl. Phew. So they give an injection, and next thing you see, we see people throwing bodies onto a fire. Or is it a pyre? I think it's a pyre, isn't it? When you're throwing bodies on. And we see one of them's Joel. There he is. There he is Joel. One of them's doing that. Then a truck pulls up, and we see her, whoever she is. At first I thought it was the girl from that film X that plays Pearl. Not Pearl, but it plays Pearl in the sequel. But I don't think it is her. She looks too old. Anyway, truck pulls up, it's got a dead body in. It might be her, I don't know, I can't really tell. And she says she can't do it. So Joel, there you go, he just picks up the this young girl, dead now, you know, the euthanized her, and he just throws the body into the fire. There you go. Ooh, done. Joel, he does what has to be done. He's not the same man he was before. Lost his daughter, you know, don't know where his wife is. 20 years have passed. He's a hardened man. But there we go. Anyway, he carries on, and we find out that he'll do anything. Any jobs that need doing, he'll do them. They get paid in what's called cards. It's like money. So he goes to this fella here. He asks, what work is there? And he says, well, there's 2 jobs tomorrow, and one of them's working in the sewers. One's street sweeping, that's it. One's sweeping the streets, one's working in the sewers. Joe says, which one pays more? He says, which do you think? Oh, pardon me. So he's going to be working in the sewers tomorrow. He'll do what has to be done. Anyway, then we see the views of Boston 2023. It's a police state. We learn about the Fireflies. There's like this, terrorist group that keep blowing stuff up and burning things and leaving graffiti about. But apparently they've been at it for 20 years, and there must be other groups. There'll be other cities with similar quarantine zones and other groups of Fireflies dotted around, but they're not doing very much. We see Joel doing a deal with this soldier. He needs, I can't remember what he needs from him. I can't remember. He gives him something. I can't remember what it is. But he gives him something, and Joel gives him. I think they're like cards, it's like money. And Joel gives him some drugs. So obviously to help him get through the day. And he tells him, stay off the street at night. Some of the soldiers are getting a bit trigger happy because with the Fireflies have been up to. So that's that. We see him later on. He looks familiar. I've seen him in something. He must be one of those faces. Then what happens? Then we cut to this chap. I can't remember his name either. Hang on, let's have a look. Robert, that's who he is. This is Robert, and he's the head of a gang, and I can't remember her name either. He's got Joel's girlfriend, and I can't remember her name either. Tess, that's who it is. Who is it? Anna Torv? I can't see her for a while. I didn't even recognise her. We'll see her. Anna Torv was in Fringe. You remember Fringe? That series. Have a look at her. There you go. That's Anna Torv. See, she's been beaten up, by the way. But the way the conversation goes, he's saying sorry and stuff, and he didn't mean to rip her off. But she's the one that's been beaten up, and she's the one saying, he won't, I promise he won't get you, because he's terrified of Joel. Is Robert? I think Robert's lackeys got a bit overexcited and beat her up a bit. Anyway, so they agreed to let it slide. She was after a battery, and he was going to sell her a battery, and but then didn't, and spent the money that she gave him. So she's not happy about that, and then these idiots have beaten her up. That she decides to let it slide. They're wanting to go, by the way. They're wanting to leave the quarantine zone, and he's going to look for Tommy. That's what he's going to do. Is Joel. Tommy's gone missing. Anyway, so they decide to let it slide, but before she can leave, there's a big explosion. we're going to see it here now. Look, you ready? Well, I think we are. Oh, in a minute. Well, how long ago were Fringe then? Because she was super glamorous in Fringe. But I suppose a bit of makeup and a bit of, make her hair look unruffled, and it can put years on anybody, can't it? Oh, there we go. Is that the explosion? There we go. I don't know what caused that explosion. I don't know if it were the fireflies or if it were the soldiers fighting with the fireflies. I don't know. But I think the 2 lackeys were killed. Robert Want, he gets out. Or maybe one, at least one of the lackeys is killed. Anyway, Tess gets away. But then she gets arrested by the military. There's a firefly up on the roof shooting at him, a sniper. But then she gets, there you go, she gives up to these, but arrest her. So she ends up in custody all day. And then we meet Ellie for the first time. She's calling herself Veronica. This is Bella Ramsey, who you may know from Game of Thrones. And I'm sorry to say, I think she's the weakest part so far of the show. She's just not very good, I don't think, as Ellie. Ellie's supposed to be this, snarky, foul-mouthed, street smart kid, and to be honest, I don't think she's pulling it off. Maybe it's just the direction. I don't know. Maybe she could do it, but it doesn't ring true for me. I'm sorry, but maybe she'll get better. It's just the first episode. It's the pilot episode, isn't it? Hour and 20 minutes, by the way. So it's long. So it's like a little film, isn't it? So anyway, so we meet her. She's in chains, and this woman keeps coming and talking to her every day, asking her a name, asking her to count to 10, and then going. Because I think that they wanted to see if she's infected. Because as we find out later on, she is infected, but it's not killing her. And she's been infected for weeks. And that's what the game were about. She's obviously immune to the fungal infection. So anyway, so there we go. So these are the fireflies that have got her chained up. Joel goes to see this fella who does the radio. People queue up and pay money, and he contacts people in other cities and stuff, and or tries to find people. And Joel goes to see him, and he says he still hasn't heard from Tommy. He's left messages, with the tower, which we found out is in Wyoming, which is like a long way, like 3/4 of the way across the country, isn't it? From Boston. But he's not heard from Tommy. Tommy's been missing for 3 weeks, apparently. So Joel's going to go and look for him, which is what they want the battery for a truck. So they could take the truck and head out of the quarantine zone. I don't know how they get out of the quarantine, unless the truck's already outside. It must be, because obviously they can't just drive through the gates, can they? Because the military wouldn't let them. Because if you're caught outside, if you're caught sneaking back in from the outside, you go for a tribunal and they hang you. So you're sentenced to death. If you leave the quarantine zone, that's a moody shot, isn't it? Very good. I think he heads home now. Yeah, he heads home now. He's collecting his gear. It's underneath the floorboards. As you see, his bed's on some breeze blocks. He's having a couple of drinks. And then he goes to sleep. And then Tess comes in and gets into bed with him. There we go. So that's how we find out they're a couple. But then presume it's the next morning. They get up and he sees her face, and she says, a couple of Robert's chaps got me, and they didn't have the battery and all that. So they're going to go find Robert and either get the money back or the battery or both. But that doesn't go well, as we will see. But anyway, where we go. Now then, I think she's going to see Ellie. Is this Marlene? I think it is. Could be. Or it might not be. I don't know. Where are we? Let's have a look. Oh, here we go. Yes, this is Marlene. Right, well, it is the Fireflies HQ, and she's the boss is Marlene, and these are the other her lieutenants, and she's telling them that they're going to take the girl, Ellie, except she's calling herself Veronica, but Marlene knows her real name. And they're going to take the girl, but they can't tell anybody. So these people are saying, how people are asking what's going on, and she said, just follow orders. And so that's that. So when they take Ellie, they want a distraction. So they're gonna, somebody's gonna cause a distraction elsewhere in the quarantine zone, and they're gonna take Ellie out of the quarantine zone. She says where they're gonna take her, but I can't remember where. So that's what they're going to do there. Meanwhile, that's Tess talking to this chap. Joel's watching on. Looking for Robert, but they don't find him. Joel sends this fella packing. I think there's like religious people that try and get people to sign up. I don't know. That's what it sounds like. But it tells him if you tell me to see the light, I'll punch you in the face. Anyway, they find out where Robert's supposed to be. But now we're seeing. I think we're back with Ellie now. Yeah, she's trying to escape. They've got a chain to a radiator, just like in the Lebanon, which were mentioned actually. I think there was a place called Lebanon, wasn't there, in this earlier on? Right, Marlene gives Ellie her backpack back. Say that 3 times fast. And Ellie takes a knife out of the backpack, and she tells her that she knows she's really called Ellie. She's not called Veronica. She's lived in the quarantine zone her entire life. Remember, 20 years have passed. She's lived in the QZ her whole life, in an orphanage. Her parents were killed, apparently. And but we find out that it was Marlene that put her in that orphanage to keep her safe. But now they've got to take her out of there. So does that mean Marlene maybe used to be in the military? I don't know. But she's swapped sides. I don't know. We might find out later. So this is telling her that why they're going to do it. They don't tell us yet. They said, I've got to tell you something, and you can't tell anybody or you will be killed. Not by her. I presume that's what she's meaning. But with obviously they don't tell us here. We find out later on that she's immune to the infection, and so that's that. Then we go to Joel and Tess. They're going to where they were told Robert is. They have to climb up this ladder, and there's a door at the top. And they can't get through the door. For some reason, there's blood coming under the door, so that they force it open, and they find out Robert dead and all his men dead. It's been a shootout. There we go. They've gone too far as usual. It's been a shootout. We found Marlene's there and Ellie, and Marlene's lieutenant, who I presume's got a name, but don't ask me. Does it tell us? Scrolling down. Kim, I think. Probably Kim. Right. Where were we? Anyway, apparently Marlene had gone to Robert for the battery. But it turns out the battery was rubbish anyway. And so the deal went bad, and so a shootout ensued. Marlene got hurt. Kim got her ear either shot off or cut off. I don't know, but Ellie's safe. She's look, and so they tell Joel he's going to have to take Ellie now, and they don't tell him why, but he agrees to it because Marlene says the truck they were going to take her to some other Fireflies, and they've got like a proper military grade truck that they can use. So he says, well, that would be better than the dilapidated old thing they were going to use before. So they'd have a better chance of finding Tommy if they had a decent truck. So they agree to it. So after a lot of gun pointing and talking, they get Ellie, and they take Ellie back to I presume they take her to Joel, to Joel's apartment. They're going to head out, at nightfall. So Joel gets some sleep. Ellie looks at a book of top 50, singles, the Billboard top 50 singles or whatever. And there's like notes in it. And it turns out that on the radio comes on occasionally, and if it plays 60s songs, it means something. If it plays a song from the 70s, it means something else. And if it plays a song from the 80s, it means trouble. She doesn't. It just says 80s and a question mark, and she wants to know what an 80s song means. And she tricks him later on. She says the radio came on, it played an 80s song, and she says, "Wake me up before you go." And Joel's reaction suggests to Ellie that 80s songs mean trouble. Obviously, she doesn't know 80s songs. She was reading the book, the book of top 50 singles, and she found one, the Wham song, "Wake Me Up Before You Go." Obviously, she didn't sing it; she just said the title, and because she's probably never heard it, but that's how she found that out. Showing us that she's clever. Anyway, so they set off. There you go. She's night falls, and they set off out. In a minute. Here we go. So they go outside the wall through obviously some sort of tunnel that's never been found by the military by the looks. Oh, pardon me. So here we go. But they soon get caught. They come across a soldier having a pee. But it turns out it's the... hang on. It's the same soldier he did the deal with earlier on. Here we go. This is them getting out, but they come across this soldier. And he tells them to put their hands up, or turn around and get on their knees, pointing a gun at them. And he tests them. So he's not helping Joel here now. Joel tries to reason with him, because he'd done a deal with him earlier, but he don't want to know. So he's going to test him. So he tests Tess and Joel. They're green. He tests Ellie, but we don't see the results for that straight away because there's a bit of argy-bargy first. Here we go. Ellie stabs him with she had a knife earlier on. Similar knife to what Sarah found in the drawer earlier on, but I don't know why that's significant. But she stabs him in the thigh with the knife, and so Joel gets him and beats his face in. There you go. I presume he kills him because he's just punching and punching. There we go, like that. Oh, boof, boof. And Ellie's watching in a bit shock. Is it shock or just morbid fascination? I don't know. As I said, I'm not over impressed with Bella Ramsey in this, to be honest. But bless her, she's only a kid. Anyway, this is when I think Tess picks up the test thing, sees that it's red. Look, so they think she's infected. So, oh no, what they're going to do? But then she shows she's got like scars on her arms. She said she's had it 3 weeks, and she's obviously not sick. So she's turned into a zombie thing, won't she, by now? So that's her secret, that she's immune. So they've got to get her to wherever they've to get her. So they head out into ruined Boston. Joel takes the soldier's machine gun, and they head out through the fence there. Either radio come on, it plays a song. I can't remember what it was. It's probably an 80s song. I think it was. So that means trouble. But then it shows the... there you go. Shows them going out into the ruins of Boston, and we see a building, a toppled building, or leaning against another building. There you go. And that's the end. That's the end of episode 1 of The Last of Us, and it was pretty good. There you go. It was pretty good. I quite enjoyed it. Well, oh crack! I pressed wrong button. I've gone. Where am I? I'm back again. That one. There we go. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I quite enjoyed it. Make sure we're still streaming. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. Thank goodness. But yeah. I recommend it. I look forward to next week. To see what happens next week. Don't know. Will they all be like an hour and 20 minutes? I don't know how many episodes there's going to be. Hang on, does it say here? Oh, 9 episodes, I think. Yeah. So I can't see them all being an hour and 20 minutes. I bet we're to a more reasonable length next week. Probably 45 to 50 minutes, I should imagine. But yeah, so it's good. It's good. I recommend it. They all play good parts. Like I said, I think the weakest part myself is Bella Ramsey. I'm sorry, but it just is. I don't find her very believable as Ellie. I can't really remember what Ellie were like in the game either, to be honest. But I think she was better than what we're getting in the series. But anyway, never mind. So yeah, recommended. Right. That's enough of The Last of Us. I'll not give it a score because, shall I? I don't know. 8 out of 10. Yeah, solid 8. A solid 8. It's good. I enjoyed it, and I look forward to more. Right.